All right, Shalawam out there. First and foremost, before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, baha, sham, Yahawashi. Yahawah, that's the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahawashi, that's the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Dumb honor to the apostles, a great millstone. And peace and mercy to elect baha, sham, Barak, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Through the Spirit of the Lord, the brother let me borrow his book, Devastation of the Indies. All right, Devastation of the Indies, written by Bartholomew de las Casas. All right, and what I'm going to do in this video about Yahawashi, I'm going to go in and out this book. I'm going to do a whole series on this book, break it down and showing you the foundations of Christianity. Where did it come from? The truth that's been hidden from us, showing you how the so-called white man, the Edomite, the Spaniard, the conquistador, all right, how the foundations under Christianity, what they really have done to us, and how they have exploited us through slavery and the devastations that they have did it to us, the atrocities, all right, through the Spirit of the Lord. You have the apologetic ministry based on Christianity, vocab Malone, guys as such that you know, say that Christianity is the way to go, but when you look at the foundations of Christianity, you find out the truth. All right, so that's why I'm gonna make a series on this, breaking it down, building up also the brethren around the world, so that you may add ammo to yourself, add ammo to your arsenal, your spiritual arsenal, on what really happened, the accounts, you know, when Christopher, so-called Columbus, came and the conquistadors really came, what really happened, the hidden history. All right, so I'm gonna do this series. I started off Cruel Christianity, Devastation of the Indies, and then the respective guy that I'm gonna go into, his name is Nicolas de Ovando, which I'm not the best Spanish reader, but you know, you'll get it. Now, when the conquistadors and the Spaniards came over here, they conquered the northern kingdom, which make up the 10 lost tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the Dominicans, you so-called, the tribe of Simeon, which is you so-called Dominicans, the tribe of Zebulon, which is Panama to Guatemala, the tribe of Ephraim, which is you so-called Puerto Ricans, the tribe of Manasseh, which is you Cubans, the tribe of Gad, which is you North American Indians, tribe of Reuben, which make up the Seminole Indians, the tribe of Naphtali, which make up Argentina to Chile, the tribe of Asher, which make up the Brazilians, Venezuela, and the tribe of Issachar, which make up the so-called Mexicans today. That's the Northern Kingdom, and that's who the so-called white man, that's who this book is based around, your destruction, all right? Because they try to say that, you know, that we allowed them over here, and we embraced what it is, that we were savages and that we didn't have nothing going for ourselves, but that's totally wrong. What it is, they forced labored us, they destroyed us slowly, all right, and cruel, all in the name of Christianity. So in this book, this is the intro to the series. In this book, I'm gonna start at page 3 when it speaks on Nicolas de Ovando, all right. It says, at the age of, this is talking about Bartholomew de las Casas, because Bartholomew de las Casas was a guy who basically was a journalist, a Spaniard journalist that documented what did he seen when the Spaniards came over here, when the conquistadors came over here. He documented what did he see, and the things that he seen, the things that this guy seen was not pretty. All right, so let's get to it. Now, on page 3, it says, at the age of 18, speaking on Las Casas, all right, at the age of 18, in 1502, Las Casas left Spain with 2,500 other eager adventurers bound for the Indies on Nicolas de Ovondo's fleet. Now, this is Nicolas de Ovando right here. This guy right here, as you see, he was the governor of the Indies. All right, he was anointed. This guy was anointed to go over there to stop a revolt of the Indies that was already occurring. All right. Remember, in 1492, when Christopher Columbus came, this guy appeared in 1502, so a couple years later, and you had many indigenous people, or the Northern Kingdom, or the Northern Kingdom revolts, and he was sent over there to stop the revolt. Okay, and he had a group of 2,500 men, and one of those men was Bartholomew de las Casas. It says in 1506 or 1507 he returned to. I'm gonna jump down a little bit. It says in 1512 he became the first priest to be ordained in the New World. Okay, that was talking about Bartholomew de las Casas, but it says Hispaniola. This is what he documented. Hispaniola in the early 16th century was a violent place. So when Nicolas de Ovando, he was sent over there to stop the violence. And he didn't stop the violence as far as, you know, making peace. All right? He did it forcibly. It says, its gold fields offered quick wealth, and its native population freely exploited labor. So when this guy came over here, he was in the thoughts of gathering up the gold. So over there in the island of Hispaniola, all in the Americas, these Spaniards knew that this land was full of gold. All right, and one thing they was doing, they was transferring the gold from the Americas over there to Spain. All right, it says the Spanish crown had sent Ovando to reestablish royal authority and ensure the proper operation of the reparamento. Now, this guy was sent over there by the royal crown, Queen Elizabeth, such, Ferdinand, of such, all right, to restore. It says to restore proper operation of the reparamento. Now, what is the reparamento? I have it for you right here. This is the reparamento. This is what the Spaniard, the royal crown, sent Ovando over there to do. The reparamento. This is in Wikipedia. Okay, it says the reparamento. It says distribution. It says was a colonial forced labor system imposed upon the indigenous population of the Spanish America and the Philippines. All right. It says this was a forced labor system that they had created over. They came over here and took over the island of Hispaniola and introduced the reparamento system, which was forced labor. Okay. And if you and it involved cruel punishments. All right. It says in the concept it was similar to the other tribute labor systems, such as Mita of the Inca Empire. So they did the same thing in the Inca Empire, which I believe is the tribe of Zebulon, which is the El Salvadorians, Central Americans. All right. It says or the Corvée of. All right, I don't know how to read all that, but it says the natives were forced to do low-paid or unpaid labor for a certain number of weeks or months each year on Spanish-owned farms, mines, workshops, and public projects. All right, so it said, so they, you know, Esau ain't gonna sit there and tell you that they said unpaid or paid, low paid. No, the Indies were forcibly or killed, was forced or killed to do labor. Okay, and this guy forced the reparamento, that system that they had set up over there. They went over there, set up shop on somebody else's land, and forced this, and they killed a lot of people. Okay, so jumping back to the book. It says an allocation of Indians to individuals known as encomendors. Encomendors, when you look it up, encomendors was entrusted people from Spain that was sent over there to enforce this system called reparamento. Okay, it says when the Spanish conquest extended to Mexico and South America, the system became known as the encomenda. It says, which was the entrusted people to come and set up that forced system. It says in return for the use of native labor, the crown instructed encomendors to take adequate care of the Indians and instruct them in civil behavior, but the arrangement almost immediately degenerated into virtual slavery. Okay, so that system they set up, that system that they had set up, immediately went from they were supposed to be setting the system up, but it immediately went to virtual slavery. I mean, it went to cruel slavery. Now let's drop this scripture real quick, and I'm gonna go back to that. Guy, because this one is on him. It's Amos 1:11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof." Edom is a so-called white man. The Spaniards, the conquistadors, that makes up them. It says, for the transgression of Edom, of you white people, the Most High will not turn away your punishment, therefore. It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did not cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Now, when he came over here, okay, when this guy came over here, let's read about him. It says, when he came over here, this guy did some cruel acts. It says, as commander, Ovando became a favorite of the Spanish Catholic monarchs. Catholic, Christianity, all the same thing. They have all the same teachings, man. It says, particularly of the pious Queen Isabella. Thus, in response to complaint of Christopher Columbus and other, you know what? Let's go jump back a little. Let's jump down a little farther. Okay, here we go. It says, thus on February 13, 1502, he sailed from Spain with a fleet of 30 ships. It was the largest fleet that had ever sailed to the New World. So this guy brought the largest fleet. And he restored order, as we're going to read down. It says, the 13th ship carried about 2,500 colonists, unlike Christopher Columbus' early voyages. This group of colonists was deliberately selected to represent an organization, cross-section of Spanish society. All right? Now let's read it. Let's go. I don't want to read all that. All right. It says, yep, here we go. When you jump down, it says, when Ovando arrived in Hispaniola in 1502, he found the once peaceable natives in revolt. Because once upon a time was peace. When they first came over here, the so-called white man was talking about peace, peace, peace. But then they put us in slavery. All right. And then it says in 1502, he came over here to stop the revolt. It says Ovando and his subordinates ruthlessly suppressed this rebellion through a series of bloody campaigns, including the Haraga massacre and the Yahawashi massacre. I may be saying the words wrong, but these guys led massacres, as you can see, all in the name of Christianity. Okay, to stop a revolt, they massacred the island of Hispaniola, which was the Taino Indians was on there. And correct me if I'm wrong on the comment board. The Taino Indians was the tribe of Ephraim, which was the so-called Puerto Ricans today. It says Ovando's administration in Hispaniola became notorious for its cruelty toward the native Tainos. So this dude became notoriously known for his cruel acts. It says estimates of the Taino population at the time of his arrival of the Spaniards in 1492 varied, with Anderson Cordova giving a maximum of 500,000 people inhabiting the island. So in 1492, they estimated around 500 people inhabiting the island. It says by 1507, sinuous, according to Bartolomé de las Casas, battlefield slaughter, enslavement, and disease that had reduced the population to 60,000. It went from 500,000 people to 60,000, Bartolomé de las Casas reported. It says, and the decline continued. In 1501, Ovando ordered the first importation of Spanish-speaking black slaves into the Americas. Now, they brought Spanish-speaking black slaves to the Americas. Why is this important? Because it shows you that slavery really started from the west coast of Africa up to the Spaniards. The so-called white man had already been committing slavery over there in the old world, going down from Spain and Portugal and going to the west coast of Africa and rounding up the southern kingdom, the Negro, Haitians, and the West Indians that was on the west coast of Africa, and was putting them in slavery. All right? They was bringing these same men in slavery over to the Americas to help them enslave the indigenous people of the land. Okay? This is all under Christianity, okay? This is the foundation of Christianity. This is cruel Christianity. Okay? Now, I actually got a clip. Let's play this clip real quick. Oh, damn, where's it at? YouTube. It's in YouTube. I had it in my history, man. God damn it, I lost it. I'm gonna grab it real quick. If you brothers could be patient with me. It shows you that Esau would use our people on our own people. All right. Now this clip I'm finna show right here is a scene where on the ships, we wouldn't eat our food. So Esau forcibly shoved the food down our mouth. But you will see that it's not Edomites or so-called white men that was doing this. It was so-called Negroes that was doing this to other Negroes. Negroes that was already enslaved. All right, that was brought up to the Spaniard from west coast of Africa. That was already enslaved. All right, generational slavery had already started. Now check it out.
They choked themselves on it.
Looking at him, you wouldn't think so.
That one, he's taken it to his head to starve himself to death. A real pitiful case. Hey, Doc, chisel, hammer, and file. Go ahead and serve dinner.
Check it out. Check that out. Did you see that? Who's doing it? A so-called Negro.
Go ahead and serve dinner.
See, it was a so-called Negro doing that. He was already been enslaved. These same guys, like or blacks that was already enslaved, was the ones that was brought over here to the Americas to help these damn devils, man. Already had been mentally jacked up. All right, it says Ovando ordered the first importation of Spanish-speaking black slaves into the Americas. Many Spanish aristocrats ordered slaves to work as servants in their homes. However, most slaves were sent to work in sugarcane fields, which produced valuable cash crops. So we would just survive. We was nothing but property for them, okay? Under Christianity, all right? It says, after the conquest made by lieutenant, including, let me see. It says that Ovando founded several cities on Hispaniola. He also developed the mining industry, introduced the cultivation of sugarcane with plants imported from culinary islands. So he got from the culinary islands, he brought seeds and crops to plant them over there so that they could do a sugarcane plantation. Start that. It says, and commission expeditions of discovery and conquest throughout the Caribbean. Ovando allows Spanish settlers to use the natives in forced labor to provide food for the colonists, as well as the ships returning to Spain. They had this system going, and they did it brutally. All right? It says to provide food for the colonists as well as the ships returning to Spain. Ovando also allowed the Tainos to be exploited for their labor, and thousands died while forced to extract gold from the nearby mines. We were dying working for them, man. It says, pursuant to the deathbed promise he made to his wife, Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand of Aragon recalled Ovando to Spain in 1509. He came in 1501 or 1502 and left in 1509. All right? He did all that damage for all them years. It says to answer his treatment of the native people, Diego Cambles was appointed his successor as governor, but the Spanish crown permitted Ovando to retain possession of the property he brought back from the Americas, man. He was allowed to keep, he did a good job, man. In other words, this cruel devil in Christianity, all right? All under Christianity, the Catholic Church, the Holy Roman Empire, the most excellent Nicolas de Ovando. So that's been pretty much the first little segment to cruel Christianity, devastation of the Indies. You have this guy that's his history has been dug up. Nicolas de Ovando. Okay, this guy was a devil, and he was destroying our people in the name of Christianity. All right, he destroyed the so-called Puerto Ricans on the island Hispaniola. All right, so I'm gonna close out. Barak the Yahawah, Barak the Yahawashi. Hope you brothers was edified. I'm gonna say Shalawam, step. Shalawam.